do in our city and in our state, and I mean that very sincerely. We might not always agree with your philosophy or coverage, but we appreciate how hard you work, and we value that. We do appreciate it. I'd like to take a moment to introduce a couple of people, and then I'll speak briefly afterwards. But first, Jeff Davis is our Associate Athletics Director for Facilities and Operations here in the Athletic Department. And Kevin O'Connell, our Chief Operating Officer, has been here, as well as Jeff, the entire time that I've been the Athletics Director. And this has been Kevin's project from day one. You met Ryan Sickman earlier from Gensler Architects, and Kevin will take a moment to introduce some other people that are with us today that you might want to visit as we walk around. So, Kevin O'Connell.
Thank you, Coach Tanner. The way these projects work, and as you might imagine, we're extremely proud of this facility. But the way the construction world works, there are two major firms involved. The local firm is Quackenbush Architects. That's Doug Quackenbush and Barb Haller. Barb was lead architect on the facility and did a magnificent job, spent hundreds if not thousands of hours over here. And Coach Tanner mentioned Ryan Sickman from Gensler. And Gensler is the national firm and provided a lot of expertise to Barb and her firm. And so we're very proud and very appreciative of the work that they did. And Greg Hughes with Contract Construction, they're the general contractor. And Greg and his people work day and night to make sure we came in on budget and on time. So we're extremely appreciative. Ann Derrick is our project manager from USC Facilities and Construction, and she is the project manager for everything we do in athletics and does a tremendous job. And she's responsible really for keeping us all on task and going in the right direction. So, Coach Tanner.
Thanks, Kevin. Key words: on budget and on time. So it's very important in an athletic director's life. Since I've been in this role now this is my 7th academic year, one of the things that was very appealing to me when I sat in the athletic director's chair is facilities and resources, and I was blessed to be able to open up a new baseball stadium during my time. And there were so many areas that we were lacking throughout the athletic department that we have addressed. It's expensive, it's time consuming, it takes an MVP team to get us to that point. But football certainly needed some concerns. We feel like we've got a great stadium at Williams-Brice. It was a very functional facility in a lot of ways compared to other stadiums around the country. But in many ways, it wasn't efficient enough or effective enough. And if you've heard Coach Muschamp say on a couple of occasions, he didn't see any players unless they had to come to his office, which normally wasn't for a good reason. And it just didn't flow very well. Weight room was at one end, coach's office was at the other end, training room was on one side of the stadium, the weight room was on the other end. And now we've had the opportunity to build one of the nicest football operation centers in the country. Special thanks to the Long family for their lead gift in this project. Coach Muschamp, when he got here, I told him, I said, we're embarking on a football operations center, and you're at a time that you can put your fingerprints on this project if you choose to do so. I know you're busy recruiting players, and I know you're busy with your team, but you have an opportunity to maybe engage if you feel like you have the time and you want to do it. He did. I don't know how he does so much in 24 hours, but almost everything in this building he had a hand in, and we're quite proud of what we ended up with. It's a transformational project that now we've come to reality. You know, sometimes you think you're never going to get there, and then boom, you're in it and you're ready to go. I know how excited our players were after Christmas when they came back to see this building for the first time. We've had our donors in the building, and now today we're delighted to be able to show you around and visit with all the amenities and opportunities that our student athletes have.
Any questions for Coach Tanner we're looking for? Coach Muschamp.
Ray, you mentioned that Will had
his first.
Yeah. You mentioned that how Will had a lot of his fingerprints on this building. How many other of these buildings or other facilities, other schools did you guys look at before you started building the plans for this one?
Well, these guys put all the work into that, looking at different opportunities, and certainly Coach Muschamp had a lot to offer based on his experience in the NFL and the other universities he's been to. So he pretty much knew what he wanted and how he wanted it done, and he got here at a time, as I said earlier, that he was able to see it through. And these people did fantastic work to get us to where we are today.
Question from Joe there. Right down here, thanks.
Coach Tanner, not only with this facility, but you kind of look at the other sports as well. Volleyball got upgraded, the cricket track. The last few years, every sport has gotten an upgrade. Is there anything more that you guys are looking to do with the football program or any other programs, and pretty much making this whole program one of the elite ones in the country?
Well, two things. First of all, I don't think you ever get to a point that you go, well, hey, we've gotten there. We're finished. We're good to go. I don't think you're ever going to be stopping. You know, you may be able to not go as fast as you once did, but we have to continue to grow. There's going to be other things that come online, and you know, since you brought it up, I'll mention I'm pursuing an opportunity. Had a meeting this morning. I'd like to build an indoor tennis complex. You saw the 200-meter bank track that has just opened. We had 4 tennis courts in there. They've gone away. So we're looking for opportunities to engage in some type of tennis project that would give our men and women a chance to play indoors during inclement weather. Now, really, I was just a filler until Coach Muschamp got here. So.
We're going to make you earn your salary today, too. So, hey, as an administrator, what is your favorite feature of this building? And when you put on your former coach hat, what is the favorite feature that you would have loved to have when you were coaching baseball?
Well, you know, probably everything in this place is fantastic. It really is. I mean, I've walked this facility a number of times now, and it's like, is there one room you like better than the other? But I think the weight room, and we had a smaller weight room over at Founders Park, but the weight room is just a place you walk into. You go, this is where it happens. You know, it's a custom weight room. There's energy when you walk into the room. We got a great staff, and that's where development starts. So I think that's. If you're going to make me pick a spot, I like the roof size. I like our cardio deck. I like what that space has to offer to our student athletes. And maybe on another note, I would probably have added some country music to the Darius Rucker Music Studio that you guys will get a chance to see a little bit later. But I kind of think that's neat. I sent Darius a picture the other day when the signage was installed. And he immediately got back to me. He's pretty excited about the opportunity to be a part of this building as well. And we're grateful for his contribution.
So are you going to lay down some tracks?
Well, I don't know that I can qualify, but I understand Coach Muschamp's got a few players that are pretty good at it. So.
They claim to be.
Yeah. So. All right, you guys done with me?
We got one more. I think Mike got going up there.
Right, of course, as a former coach, you understand, as a former player, you understand the importance of being able to have a facility like this. For people that might not have been around college sports or even high school sports, what would you say to those people in the terms of just investing and how important it is to be able to have a building like this?
Well, I think that sometimes when you open up a building like this, you're going to have cynics, you're going to have people ask, is it really necessary? Here's what's important. When a young man or a young woman visits your campus as a student athlete, you can't hide commitment. It's either there or it isn't. You can speak about it, but you can't hide it. You got to show it. And I think that's one thing now when Coach Muschamp brings prospects into this space, you don't have to talk about commitment. You see it, and that's very important. And I think that goes a long way with how it affects the future of your program.